Hey guys, it's Charlie, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about my coming home experience of finding my spirituality and trying to let it grow, and how I came about my path. So pretty much the way it started was I had been living in Korea for a little while, and actually upon arriving I had already started questioning my beliefs and my way of life, because I realized that people in other countries live differently and have completely different ways of living and believing and being. And I started to realize that we create our own rules, and I started questioning who creates the rules for my life. And I realized that I wasn't creating the rules for my life. I was taking other people's rules and trying to fit them for my life. So one day I was in the Jjimjilbang, which is an open sauna place where you can spend the night, you can shower and relax in the sauna and jacuzzi. So I was relaxing and trying to figure out, I had gone through a lot of questions about life and everything, and I started questioning everything. And I was just like, if I was out in the forest and didn't know anything, what would I believe? I started questioning things like that. If I just had to throw everything out the window, I grew up in the forest and I lived out in nature, what would I believe? And I realized the thought came back to me of when I was younger, and I had found a book in the library about Wicca, and I actually was very interested in it, and then I decided to put it away because it was too difficult to live in a Christian home and try and hide what I had discovered. And so I put it away, and I realized that if it's something that I do want to pursue, then it will eventually come back to me. So here I am years later in a Jjimjilbang in Korea and questioning everything and realizing that I would probably be of a nature-based spirituality, and realizing at that time that that is exactly who I am. That is what I believe, and I believe in nature and being in nature and all of that. And that was pretty much the start of me realizing that everything that I had previously believed or said I believed was really me trying to mold myself into something that didn't fit. And it was until recently that I realized that a nature-based spiritual path is more me, and I've just been trying to develop my spirituality and kind of just be, instead of doing, just being has really been my main focus. And I've been reading a lot, but I've also been just sitting with myself in nature and really trying to understand myself, because I realized that with most spiritual practices or most religions, it's about finding God first and then figuring out who you are. But I realized for myself what it is finding out who I am and my inner beingness, figuring out that first, and by doing that I will find God. And I feel very connected spiritually now than I ever have before. I feel like being out in nature is just 10 times more beautiful than what I have ever experienced. And I've always loved nature, and I've always loved animals and being out in nature, but now it's just so much more crisp, and it's kind of, I guess I would say it was my awakening. And I see so many things more deeply now than I ever have before. And you know, when I'm just like sitting out on the grass, I can see the little bugs popping out of the grass, like jumping up. And like in that stillness, like that moment, it's just like words can't express those little instances. Or when I'm laying in the grass and like I see a leaf falling, and it's like that moment, like everything is still, but everything is moving, and it's like so weird. It's like you're high, but you're not. And so pretty much my journey has really just been being in another country and realizing that I create my rules and I create everything that I want out of my life, and I can't depend on other people's rules for my life, because my life is not their life. And realizing that I am in control of my own life, and I can't depend on other people's rules to get me to where I want to be, or to who I want to be, or to God, because those are that's their path and their mindset. And so I have to implement my own way of thinking and what I believe to be my way to God. And so really just I think it's always going to be a journey. It's always something that I'm going to be working on. And I believe that traveling is really one of my spiritual practices, because that is kind of the way that I've discovered my path. And I really feel like I'm becoming more spiritually developed as I get to know people from different cultures and the way they think. And it's really just very comforting to know that there are people in the world who have completely different ways of living, completely different ways of thinking and being. And it's comforting to know that, you know, we're all one. Like, we're all one, and that's definitely what I believe. So just being able to look at another human who thinks completely different than I do and realize that we're one, and being able to love in that. And that is definitely just one of the things that has really been something that I try to remember, is that we're one. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be seeing you guys later. Bye.